Hello, the Secrets to Sleep Baby and Toddler Sleep Help Group. My name is Courtney. I am a sleep consultant and I help families get a really great night of sleep so that they can enjoy the time that they have with their babies and toddlers. Okay, just a few group notes, group updates. I have a few lives coming up, so if you're interested in any of these lives, post the name of the live below that you're interested in and I can tag you in it. So upcoming, we have a live about early morning wake-ups, cat napping, contact napping, and frequent night waking. So if any of those are things that you want to watch a live about, you struggle with, post it below and I'll tag you in it. Also, just want to make a note that we have group calls, kind of like a class, available for those who either breastfeed their baby to sleep, rock their baby to sleep, or have a toddler that they do not, rock or feed to sleep, but their toddler needs either snuggles or contact to sleep. If that is you, post below. I can send you a link. I've opened up some times for those. If you really want support with sleep and none of the times are available in your time zone or what you're available to do, send me a DM and we can just book a one-on-one sleep strategy call. Okay, so that's a little bit of housekeeping. So this live I had booked for like a week ago, but my kids were sick all week, as I know so many kids are sick. If you wanted to watch the live on sickness, teething, and milestones, I think it's removed from Facebook now because it's been more than a month, but I still have it on YouTube. So if you want to watch the live all about sickness, teething, and milestones, post that below and I can hook you up with a link for that one. Okay, so this is the live all about when should babies be sleeping through the night. Okay, I get asked this a lot because I think it's such a good question. So when can babies be sleeping through the night? What are we looking at? What is our expectation on some of these things? I think it's very surprising. And I also think that there's two camps of people. Maybe some that are like, they want their baby to sleep through the night right away. So they have this like newborn that just came home from the hospital and they're like, when will this baby sleep through the night? And I'm like, probably got some time where the baby still just needs some food in the night, And then there's the other camp when you have babies that are, getting older and older and older, then they're not babies anymore, and then they're toddlers, and they're still waking in the night, and they're still waking in the night. And the parents are thinking, when could my little one be sleeping through the night, So let's talk a little bit about this, okay? A few things that we'll go over is like, what is sleeping through the night? Like, what is that considered to be? What is necessary in order for babies to sleep through the night? And just a few different factors that come into play when it comes through sleeping through the night and the age that babies can sleep through the night, okay? So one thing to note is just what is considered sleeping through the night. It's just because lots of different organizations have kind of coined the phrase sleeping through the night, and they have like a specific like amount of time that is what it means to them. When I say sleeping through the night, I mean sleeping through the night like from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. That to me is sleeping through the night. Some other organizations consider sleeping through the night, they'll consider that like a large chunk, like 5 hours of time, something like that. So that's why you might hear, at 4 months of age, your baby can sleep through the night. It's like, well, like I have seen babies like fully sleep through the night at 4 months of age. I worked with families that had those babies, but I definitely wouldn't like promise that babies can fully sleep through the night at that point. Sometimes when organizations are saying that, they're meaning 5-hour stretches, and that's just because of their definition, okay? So just to clarify that, when I say sleeping through the night, I mean from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., actual sleeping through the night, not like secret, like, this is my definition for it, and, it's just a little bit misleading, okay? So sleeping through the night. Okay, so when are babies able to sleep through the night? So the answer that pediatricians give is they, for the most part, the average pediatrician agrees that babies can start to sleep through the night at about 6 months of age, okay? The two factors that enable babies to sleep through the night at this age is one, their sleep cycles have matured, okay? So at 4 months of age, a baby has a fully developed circadian rhythm. Their sleep cycles have fully matured. That is necessary for them to, start to be able to sleep longer stretches. So that's why at, under 4 months of age, you kind of have babies waking up every 4 hours. They need the calories in the night. That's why they do that. But also because their sleep cycles are only so long. It's a very different system for them. They don't have a circadian rhythm yet. But as of 4 months of age and older, they can start to sleep decent chunks because of that circadian rhythm development. Now, a 4 to 6 month old baby still needs calories at night. So that's why, it's pretty established that, 4 month old baby still needs probably a couple of night wake ups, right? And then at 6 months of age is when it's pretty, agreed by pediatricians that babies do not need the calories in the night. They can, get enough calories during the day and sleep through the night. Does that mean that your baby or toddler is just going to magically start to sleep through the night at 6 months of age? I'm like, no, because if they did, then I would probably not have, so many people in this group, right? So we'll go into some of the things so that we have a really good understanding of this, but just so you know, babies can sleep through the night approximately 6 months of age. In the last live I did, I said, some families have biological reasons. So for example, I worked with a toddler family that the child was legitimately just not eating or drinking anything all day long. Obviously something like that is going to be a factor. If a baby has severe acid reflux, something like that would be a factor. But on average, if children are, they're gaining, weight, their average weight, they're healthy, they are getting enough calories during the day and they don't need it at night. Okay. So a few different things to go over. A lot of people say, oh, is it because solid foods are now, a factor at 6 months of age? So the answer is no. Actually, the addition of solid foods, actually studies show that when we add solid foods into our babies' diets, that their sleep actually decreases and gets worse. So my parents always told me, just, give your kids some, oatmeal or, whatever it is. That'll help them sleep through the night. Studies actually show that once we introduce solid foods, sleep gets worse because they have, increase of digestive issues and tummy troubles. So adding solid foods, and those who are waiting for 6 months of age because they're like, okay, 6 months, then we can add some solid food, then hopefully they'll make it through the night. Like, they're developmentally able to make it through the night because of how many calories they're getting during the day. We don't need to top them up with extra things in order for them to be able to. It's not about adding solid foods in. It's just that they're developed enough to do that. And if they're not sleeping through the night and they're waking up, frequently, which this is something I hear a lot, if your baby is waking up more than a newborn baby, right? Your baby is waking up every hour or two. I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely not because they're that hungry. Okay? So it's just not why. It's definitely a circadian rhythm issue as opposed to, calorie issue. Okay, so solid foods. So just to answer the question, solid foods, adding it into your diet, your baby's diet is not going to help them sleep longer stretches. Do babies need milk in the night is the question. So the answer is your baby might want milk in the night. They might be used to having milk in the night, some of those questions. Here's where I'm like, so just so you know, when I work with families as a sleep consultant, we don't cut out, I don't, as a sleep consultant, and every sleep consultant's going to give you their way of going about things. I don't cut out feeds in the night. I make changes to how babies fall asleep, and when babies fall asleep independently, so they self-settle, then they start to connect sleep cycles and they can sleep really long stretches. I don't personally just go in there and just stop feeding a baby that is used to being fed every hour or 2 or 3 at night. There are lots of reasons why. One is because working with babies that are no longer, being fed suddenly, it's not, I don't think it's very fun to work with them. And, I'm sure they're not very happy with us when we just super suddenly cut out feeds, And then the other reason is just it's just not what it's about for them. The babies are not waking up because they are hungry. They are waking up because they have some sort of sleep association, something that is disrupting their sleep cycles. And then when they're already awake, they're kind of like, hey, now that I'm here, I'd really like some milk. It's not that they're hungry, it's that they're like, I'm not quite full. I'm awake because of my sleep association, and I would like to be completely full as opposed to a little bit hungry. Some people say, is it the same for breastfeeding families? Can they sleep through the night at 6 months of age? The answer is yes. Yeah. I work with breastfeeding families. I work with formula fed families. At 6 months of age, they can be sleeping through the night. you know? Another thing is like, or one feed, right? At 6 months of age, one feed is very reasonable. This again goes to like, do, breastfeeding babies need to wake up every 2-3 hours at 6 months of age because they're hungry? No, it's not for hunger. One thing I do recommend when it comes to feeding, if you are feeding your baby during the day every hour, every 2 hours, like that is something I would make changes to as a sleep consultant. Because if your baby is used to, I call it snack feeding, during the day, then they are going to snack feed at night as well. So you actually want to like stretch out the time between your feedings. If a newborn baby, if the recommendation is for them to be fed, every kind of 2.5, 3 hours, then your 4, 5, 6 month-old baby plus does not need to be fed every hour. Okay, that means we're snack feeding. It means you actually have to stretch the feed a little bit longer than you would normally do. Make sure they have the really, really good full feed. Stretch it a little bit longer. Do it gradually. I wouldn't just like suddenly, if they're feeding every hour, I wouldn't just suddenly like not feed them. They're gonna be really hungry. It's more about habits and changing habits. Yeah, I think those are some of the topics I really wanted to go over. Going back to the main reason why babies are waking up, more than maybe once at 6 months of age and after, it's not due to hunger. For some families, like I find that most families, when their babies wake up, it's like a little feed. It's like, they drink a very small amount and they fall back asleep really quickly. If your baby is like having like a legit large feed, that's a little bit different. That we would probably gradually reduce the amount of milk they're intaking. It's not that they can't go without the calories in the night. It's that they're very used to having a lot of calories in the night. So that you kind of, reduce the amount of milk that they're drinking over time. That makes sense. But most families I work with, the baby's having like a very small amount of milk in the night, and it's just more about the habit of like sucking on the bottle, or if it's breastfeeding, sucking on the breast. Even if it's rocking to sleep, they're waking up because they feel like they need to be rocked back to sleep, and then they just want some more milk in the meantime as well. So if you have a baby that's 6 months of age or older and still waking up in the night, and you want to make some changes so that they learn how to self-settle, so that their sleep cycles are not being disrupted, please post below. Sleep strategy call. We'll get you set up. We have specific ones, as I've already mentioned, for like the different kind of categories. But if none of those worked into your time zone, or you just really wanted some one-on-one support, let's hook up like a free sleep strategy call. Let's get started. This is why I started the 3 Weeks to Better Sleep program. It's just because I truly feel like babies could be sleeping so well, and I know that like not everyone knows how, or even that it's like a possibility for babies to be sleeping really well. To me, it's really challenging that like, I talk to so many families that have, 7-month-olds, waking up frequently in the night, 9-month-olds waking up frequently in the night, 1, 2, 3, 4 years old that are waking up constantly in the night, and people are always asking me, are you sure my baby's just not really hungry? And I'm like, yeah, I'm totally sure. And I'm totally sure that if we make changes to how they fall asleep, that they can sleep really well. Okay? Work with families all the time, that we make changes in how they fall asleep. They can link sleep cycles. They can sleep really well. Okay? So if you're interested, if you are, done with the night wake-ups and you want to have a baby that sleeps really well, like post below and I will connect with you, and I would love to support you through that. All right? My name is Courtney. Happy Monday, and I hope that if any of your babies are sick right now, that they get better, because I know that it's just so tough. So, all right, talk to you all later.